Hey, sister. I'm so glad you're here. Let's talk about the kind of heartbreak that doesn't get enough attention. The kind that happens between women, between sisters. It's not romantic, not parental, but the pain of losing a friend who once felt like family. Maybe you were betrayed. Maybe you were just ghosted. Maybe it ended in silence and confusion. Whatever it looked like, the wound was left behind. And it's real. And it's deep. And if we're honest, some of us are still bleeding. Today, I want to give you a biblical framework for healing from broken sisterhood. God cares about how we love each other and how we heal when love falls apart. I know this pain firsthand, okay? There was a woman I called sister. Oh my gosh, we prayed together, we laughed together, we shared dreams and secrets. We were each other's safe space. So I thought, right? And then one day, that dynamic changed. It wasn't dramatic, it was quiet, subtle shifts, fewer calls, cold replies, and then eventually, nothing. She disappeared from my life with no explanation. And I told myself, I'm fine. I had other things to do and other people to support, right? But deep down, I was grieving. And that grief, when unprocessed, turned into bitterness. Not just towards her, but towards future friendships. I started guarding myself. So, smiling on the outside, but closed off on the inside. And I heard God whisper, you can't heal what you won't admit that is broken. See, the first step in healing from a broken friendship is telling the truth. Not to social media, not necessarily even to her, but to God. Psalm 34:18 says, the Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in the spirit. He sees the tears you didn't cry in public. He knows the words you typed and then deleted. He understands that what hurt most wasn't the action, but the silence that followed it. And you can bring all that pain to him without pretending it's okay. Because spiritual healing begins when emotional honesty meets God's presence. The next step is letting go of what you've been holding on to. Now, I know that's not easy, right? Because some of you are holding on to the words that were never said. Apologies you probably won't ever get. And a version of the friendship that just never got to heal. But Ephesians 4:31 says, get rid of all the bitterness and rage, anger, brawling, and slander. Because here's the truth. Bitterness is like drinking poison and hoping the other person gets sick. It doesn't protect you, it pollutes you. And if you don't release it, it'll harden your heart, not just towards that woman, but towards every woman after her. Letting go doesn't mean pretending it didn't happen. It means declaring this pain does not get to write my story anymore. Now comes a point that most of us want to avoid, and that's reframing the story. What if God allowed the breakup to protect you from the breakdown? What if that friendship wasn't meant to go the distance, but to teach you something about discernment, identity, or boundaries? See, Romans 8:28 says, and we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him. And yes, even this, because sometimes God uses the loss to realign you, to remind you that your worth is not tied to someone else's ability to stay, to heal the deeper wounds that surfaced when she walked away, and to grow you into the kind of friend you've always longed to have. So here's the final truth. You don't just need to heal from her. You need to reconnect with you. Because friendship wounds don't just break trust with others. They often fracture our relationships with ourselves. Because you start to ask, well, was that too much? Maybe not enough. Why does this keep happening to me? But God says in 1 Peter 2:9, you are a chosen people, a royal priesthood, God's special possession. See, you are chosen, worthy, enough, still called to love again. But this time, from a healed place. So here's what I want you to do today. Just one step. Take out a journal, a sticky note, or just your phone. And I want you to write down these 3 affirmations. I am not defined by who left, but anchored by who stayed. I forgive even if I never receive closure. I am healing and I am open to healthy, God-honoring sisterhood. And then pray this simple prayer. Lord, I release what hurts me. I receive your healing and I reopen my heart to the kind of love you designed between women. And if you're brave enough, say it out loud. I'm ready to heal. Because no one has to hear you but heaven. And I promise you, he hears you. And healing starts with a yes. And sister, I'm so glad you're here.